A woman gets promoted to VP. Six-figure salary. Company credit card. Corner office with a view she hasn't earned yet, but will. She texts her 3 closest friends. 2 respond immediately. Congrats, we need to celebrate. The 3rd responds 4 days later with a thumbs up emoji and nothing else. Within 18 months, 2 of those friendships are gone entirely. She didn't change. At least, that's what she told herself. But here's the thing. She did change. And her friends changed too. Because when income moves, the entire social ecosystem around you shifts. Sometimes visibly, sometimes so subtly, you won't catch it until the friendship is already over. And the reason why might change how you look at everyone around you. Welcome to financialization. Today we're talking about something people discuss constantly, in private, and almost never discuss in public. How your income level dictates how your friends, family, and social circle treat you. Not what people say about you, what they actually do. And before anyone gets defensive in the comments, this is not about gold diggers or freeloaders, though those people absolutely exist, and we will be discussing them later in this video. This is about something more fundamental, something psychological, something almost evolutionary. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody puts on a finance podcast. Money doesn't just change your life, it changes your social identity. And your social identity is what other people respond to, sometimes without even knowing they're doing it. Here's the financialization humor bomb for this video. And I want you to sit with this, because it is completely true. When you're broke, people invite you to things because they feel sorry for you. When you're rich, people invite you to things because they want something from you. The only time people invite you anywhere just because they like you is that brief, beautiful window where you make slightly above average money, but haven't actually figured that out yet. That window is maybe 3 years long. Enjoy it. Let's go level by level. Level 1. The starting point. At the bottom of the income ladder, we're talking minimum wage, gig economy, entry level, or full-time broke. The social dynamics have a specific texture. Picture this. It's Saturday. Your group chat has 7 people in it. Someone suggests the new brunch spot downtown. $35 minimum per person before tip. You type, "Sounds fun," and then spend the next 40 minutes calculating whether this is something you can actually do. It's not. You say you have other plans. You don't have other plans. You have anxiety. Here's the data point. A 2022 Pew Research Center study found that 45% of Americans earning under $30,000 a year reported feeling excluded from social activities due to cost. That's nearly half. And the brutal thing is, most of them never told the people they were with why they weren't there. Now here's what's interesting about lower income social dynamics. They're often the most authentic. When everyone is broke together, money isn't a social variable. It's a shared condition. The social glue is proximity, shared struggle, humor, and time, which is the one thing people with no money have plenty of. The humor bomb for level 1. When you're broke, splitting a $40 Uber is a serious group negotiation. When you're rich, you don't even know what an Uber costs. You just close the app. But here's where it gets interesting. Because eventually, someone in that broke friend group starts to make money. And that's when the first cracks appear. Level 2. The hustle phase. This is the $1,000 to $65,000 range. You've got a real job. Maybe 2. You're building. You can cover your half of dinner most of the time, but you're still tracking every dollar. which means you know exactly what everyone around you is and isn't contributing. Scene. You finally move into your own apartment. Small, but yours. You throw a housewarming. A few people come. Most don't. And the ones who do mostly drink your wine and ask where you're putting the TV. Nobody brings anything. One guy from your old job shows up with a plant he clearly grabbed from a gas station. The social dynamic at this level is marked by what psychologists call status ambiguity. You're no longer at the bottom, but you haven't clearly moved up either. And that liminal position creates friction. Some people in your old circle now subtly resent you for trying to move. Others cling to you because you represent a version of hope they want to stay close to. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, found that financial mobility, even small gains, significantly disrupts existing friendship networks. The more visible the improvement, new apartment, new car, new job title, the stronger the disruption. The humor bomb for level 2. At this income level, you will have exactly one friend who constantly posts about starting their own business, will never actually start it, and will quietly judge you for having a real salary. Every friend group has this person. If you're watching this and you don't know who that person is in your group, I have bad news for you. But this level is just the warm-up. The social dynamics get sharper and stranger as you move up. Level 3. The middle-class reality. This is where most of you watching this actually live. $65,000 to $130,000, probably dual-income household, maybe a mortgage or at least the thought of one. You're comfortable-ish. You're stressed about being comfortable-ish. And your social world is doing something deeply specific. You're at a birthday dinner for a close friend. 12 people, nice restaurant, one check. Someone suggests splitting it evenly. The total comes out to $9 per person. You pay it. You don't say anything. 2 people at the table clearly couldn't afford that. 3 people at the table thought it was too cheap for a place like this. Nobody talks about any of this. You all pretend the number didn't exist. And yet somehow, that number will affect how at least 3 of those friendships develop over the next 2 years. The middle-class social experience is defined by one overwhelming psychological force: performance. At this level, you're financially visible enough that what you spend signals who you are. Your friends notice your car. They notice your vacations on Instagram. They notice when you upgrade, and they notice when you don't. A Harvard Business School study found that middle-income individuals were significantly more likely than either low-income or high-income individuals to engage in conspicuous consumption, buying things not because they wanted them, but because of what those things said to other people. The humor bomb for level 3. At this income level, everyone has an opinion about your financial choices except the people who have actually made good financial choices. Your broke friend thinks you're wasting money. Your rich friend thinks you're being cheap. And your equally middle-class friend thinks you're doing it wrong in whatever way they're not doing it. But wait until you start actually making real money, because that's when people stop giving you advice and start giving you something much colder. Level 4. The successful phase. We're in the $130,000 to $400,000 range now. You're not just comfortable. You're doing well by almost any reasonable definition. And the social landscape at this level is where things start to feel genuinely weird. You pay for a round of drinks at the bar. You don't announce it. You just do it. Later, a friend texts you privately. You didn't have to do that. You think it's gratitude. It isn't, entirely. There's something else in that message. A quiet recalibration of the relationship. a recognition that the power dynamic between you two has shifted and neither of you quite knows what to do about it. At this level, you start to notice a social sorting process. Old friends begin to divide into three categories: the ones who are genuinely happy for you and adjust naturally, the ones who quietly distance themselves because your success makes them uncomfortable, and a third, stranger category: people who become more attentive, more available, more interested in you than they've ever been. That third category is worth watching. Sociologist Rachel Sherman, in her study of upper-middle-class New Yorkers, found that high earners consistently downplayed their income around friends and family, not out of humility, but out of social self-preservation. They had learned, often through painful experience, that openly acknowledging their financial position created resentment, expectations, and weirdness they didn't know how to navigate. The humor bomb for level 4. At this income level, you will be asked to plan the friend group trips. Always. Not because you're good at planning, because everyone assumes you'll cover the incidentals, and the conversation will be easier if the rich person is technically in charge. But this is still just the warm-up for the level where social dynamics go fully off the rails. Level 5, the wealthy elite. At this level, fortunes are $400,000 and above. Paths to wealth include entrepreneurship, surgery, inheritance, or early investments. Here, social experiences become hard for others to grasp. You host a fancy dinner. A friend from your past attends. They seem off, quieter, overly complimentary. Afterward, they text saying it was amazing. You suggest hanging out, but plans fall through. They're avoiding the feelings your success triggers. The dynamic shifts from comparison to threat. Your existence reflects unachieved goals for old friends, revealing missed opportunities. You did nothing wrong. You became uncomfortable evidence. A study reveals that people distance themselves from successful friends more than from unsuccessful ones. Upward comparison is painful and often unmanageable without distance. Humor bomb for level 5. People introduce you by net worth disguised as accomplishments. You must meet him. He just sold his second company. Not, he's a great listener. And if you think that's strange, wait for level 6. Level 6. The ultra-wealthy billionaire. This group represents the top 0.01%. Wealth changes the definition of friend to relationship manager, creating an isolated social reality. A billionaire's child attends a birthday party. Parents strategize gifts for weeks to avoid making others uncomfortable. They choose something slightly below average to fit in. Status incongruence isolation is the key phenomenon among the ultra-wealthy. It's not that people avoid you. Normal interactions are impossible due to wealth differences. Trust erodes, leading to fewer close relationships. A 2018 UBS survey found 68% of ultra-high net worth individuals feel misunderstood by those less wealthy, with nearly half struggling to maintain friendships as wealth grows. Humor bomb for level 6. Friends are also billionaires. Arguments revolve around whose foundation has more impact. I eradicated malaria in 3 provinces. I bought a media company claiming malaria wasn't real. Casual friendship feels like geopolitics. The deep dive. Let's step back and examine the reality. This isn't just about money. Money measures deeper issues. We're witnessing a clash of fundamental psychological drives. The need for social belonging versus the need for status. These drives often clash, and income changes force this tension to the surface. The central concept is social comparison theory, introduced by Leon Festinger in 1954. We evaluate ourselves by comparing to similar others, our peers and friends. Your friend compares themselves to you, not Elon Musk. When your income changes, you alter the financial benchmark for those around you without their consent. This explains the awkwardness at dinners and friendships that fade. It's not betrayal. It's people facing an uncomfortable reflection of their circumstances. Next, consider Robert Merton's relative deprivation theory. People feel deprived not by absolute lack, but by perceptions of lack compared to their peers. If everyone makes $50,000, you're fine there until someone in your circle earns $90,000. Suddenly, your $50,000 feels like a personal indictment. Merton's findings show that income inequality within familiar groups is more damaging than abstract inequality. People resent wealth, not from billionaires, but from friends achieving wealth. The uncomfortable truth in personal finance is that as you gain wealth, you might lose some relationships. Not all, just some. It's not personal failure. Rather, it's their struggle with your success. Those who remain and can celebrate your growth, free from their own insecurities, are rare. Humanity often keeps score, even unwelcome. The honest approach is to see these dynamics not as judgments of others, but as social maps. Understanding behaviors around money helps you avoid taking things personally and aids in investing wisely in relationships. Now, here's your comment question. Which part resonated most? Have you ever lost a friend due to financial success without conflict? This seems common, yet few discuss it. Share in the comments. I read everything. If this video resonates, share it with a friend who supports you through all income levels. That's who you keep. Next week, we'll explore family dynamics regarding your earnings compared to your parents. The psychology is even more complex. See you then.